Welcome to the Gore N More podcast with your hosts TJ Bowser, Chad Chrisman, and Big Johnny D. We have such sights to tell you.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Gore N More podcast. This is your host with the most, TJ Bowser, and joining me as always is your Dark Lord and Savior, Chad Chrisman.
What is up, my bitches?
And Big Johnny D.
What's going on, everybody?
And from the Graveyard Shift podcast, Mike King.
How's it going, eh?
Today is May 25th, 2019, and we got a lot to tell you. First off, we'll start with something we talked about on Sunday's episode. We announced our Steel City Comic Con booth, and today we put up our first promo and ad for it and announced it on social media, and it has been overwhelming.
Oh shit, this shit's blowing up.
Woo, hell yeah.
And we are in talks with so many of your favorite actors and actresses to help on with this, and I just can't wait to show you everything we have in store in August. It's gonna blow your fucking mind. Also, just as a reminder that Kelly Tapan is coming on tomorrow, and that episode will be released next Monday. Also confirmed as of today, Adam Marcus, director of Friday the 13th. Oh, the final Friday.
Jason Goes to Hell. The most divisive one. This is going to be a fun one.
Yes. I think he also wrote the script for Texas Chainsaw 3D.
I haven't seen that.
Which wasn't terrible, minus the terrible CGI.
Yes. Fuck CGI. Also, there's a lot of things opening up that we can't announce yet, but it's in the pipeline. It's going to be insane. And just stick with us because there's a lot of cool stuff to happen on Gore N More. There's also a new podcast going to be gracing our wonderful podcast network soon. And we also have another one in the works, which, again, stuff we can't tell you about, but I promise you, it's going to be insane. But let's start this show. Chad, what'd you do this week?
Work. It's been a pretty busy week. The week ahead is going to be just as busy. I am exhausted. I'm running on like 4.5 hours sleep. So if I stroke out here, it's because I'm just that beat. But other than that, I haven't been doing much.
Okay. What about you, Johnny?
Busy week, man. I've been still chugging through between both houses. This weekend, got the Dodgers swing set, all this other, lame adulting bullshit. On the fun side, got a little bit more work done on my cosplay, which everybody will get to see down at the con, which, hopefully everybody will enjoy. And started opening my pool today. So other than that,
all right,
it's been pretty good, man. How about your week?
Pretty good. Really, just been keeping it busy with that do-back stuff. Pretty much have new news for you guys every day.
Yeah, man, you've been busy as fuck with that shit, bro.
Gotta make moves, gotta grow, man. And with this new partnership with Vengeance, it's just opening up so many doors. And do-back, I said at the beginning of this year, do-back 2019, and I fucking meant it. But Mike, what about you, buddy?
Just recently finished a con where I walked around the floor interviewing people for my show, and also making appointments for local podcast festivals. So I'm working on my own promo game as well.
Excellent.
Right on.
You can take this opportunity to shill your stuff.
Oh, right. Okay, well, my name is Mike. I'm one half of the Graveyard Shift Horror with Sheldon and Mike. Sheldon is, of course, the other half. We are a weekly horror podcast where we review a movie that is suggested by our listeners, and we break our thoughts down into what the good, the bad, and anything else we find fun or relevant. I give my kill of the week, and we often do a skit, which is either an introduction to the show with us taking part in the world of the movie, or a fake deleted scene, which we always introduce as "it came from the cutting room floor."
Nice.
And they always address dangling plot points.
Awesome. Did you say where you can find your show at?
Sure, you can find us on Podbean, Stitcher, any place where podcasts are. And if you can't find it, let me know and we'll put it there.
Excellent. So before we get into the review, a message from our sponsors. Gore N More is brought to you in part by A New Kind of Fear Customs. Friday the 13th inspired custom gaming controllers, hockey masks, action figures, and more. You can find them on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram and at anewkindofear.com. Do you like photography and Friday the 13th? Then check out 13 Gallows Lane. You can find them on Facebook at Gallo Goes to Hell, Twitter and Instagram at 13 Gallows Lane, and on Patreon at Emily Helene. Warning, some content not safe for work. Do you like horror movies, collecting, and enamel pins? Then check out Creative Terror Pins. You can find them on Facebook and Instagram and at creativeterrorpins.com. And we are back. So let's start our review for 1988's Night of the Demons, directed by Kevin Tenney, right, Chad?
Correct.
Written by John
Augustine.
Produced by John Augustine, starring Kathy Podwell as Judy Cassidy, Amelia Kincaid as Angela Franklin, Billy Gallo as Sal Romero, Alvin Alexis as Roger, which sounds like a porn name, Linnea Quigley as Suzanne, Lance Fenton as Jay Jansen.
That's what it says.
Hal Havens as Stooge. I got a lot to say about him. Allison Barron as Helen.
Oh, bro.
Philip Tansey as Max. Jill
Tarashita
as Frankie. Music
Franny.
by, what was that?
Franny.
Music by Dennis Tenney. Cinematography by David Lewis. Edited by Daniel Duncan. Distributed by Paragon Arts. Released October 14th, 1988. Runtime of 90 minutes. Budget of $1.2 million. Grossed. What the fuck was that noise?
Somebody street racing?
That was probably the bus going by my house.
Oh, okay. Also, it grossed $3.1 million. And here's the motherfucking trailer.
A full moon.
There's that voice again.
A spooky, deserted mansion.
Bro, that voice is fucking the
Night.
voice.
Yes.
All right, dude.
Don Fontaine.
And das ist.
10 kids. All they want to do is raise a little hell. Now, as long as they live, they'll wonder what's gotten into them.
Of course, Linnea
Night
takes it in the
of
mouth.
the Demons.
There it is.
The day of atonement is at hand.
Stop looking at me.
We're gonna get out of here.
Night of the Demons. Party till you drop.
Fuck yeah.
Before we begin, I just want to say this. Months back, when TJ asked me if I wanted to do a horror podcast, and of course my response was, fuck yeah. Like, this was the exact movie I had in mind. It was like low budget shit like Night of the Demons. I'm like, I want to do that. I don't want to do the highbrow stuff, which we are going to get to eventually, but primarily I want to do low budget 80s schlock like Night of the Demons, Return of the Living Dead, just that kind of shit. This... Literally the movie I had in mind.
And we've stayed true to that with a couple of exceptions.
Yes.
And I think the two ones we were talking about might be like Shaun of the Dead and The Crow.
And The Wraith.
The Wraith. Was that a high budget film?
No, but it wasn't really horror to be fair. It was...
I don't know, but it's still stuck with like the cheesy 80s though. Like it's not
Yeah.
that far out of the realm.
And it was full of tiger blood.
That's
Right.
very true. So for the plot rundown, Chad, where's this from?
The plot rundown.
Where'd you get this bitch at?
I believe I got this from Rotten Tomatoes.
Okay. On Halloween night, a group of 10 teenagers led by Angela and Suzanne decide to have a party at Hull House, an abandoned funeral home. The house was scene of a horrifying murder-suicide committed by the owner's son some years ago. What? Oh, some years before. It had spawned legends of the boogeyman among local children who avoid it. It is also rumored to have been built on unholy ground. According to local Indian tribes, a high wall was erected over an underground stream of the property to keep evil spirits confined as they cannot cross water. The teens soon start engaging in a party inside the house while dancing and alcohol, but it isn't until Angela conducts a seance that trouble starts brewing. The face of a demon appears in the mirror and vanishes quickly, but not before one of the girls see it, and in the mansion depths, the demon seen in the mirror pushes open a heavy steel door and closes in on the teens. The demons take control of Suzanne first, and then one at a time, the other teens become possessed or are murdered savagely, only to come back to life as demons. Will anyone escape the night of the demons or fall prey to the horrifying demons that their friends have become? Chad?
Well, before we get into my notes and everything, let's discuss like we always do. What, gentlemen, what did you think?
Loved it. It's my third viewing this month.
Yeah, because you got that sweet Scream Factory Blu-ray set.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Love it.
I had to settle for the Amazon Prime HD copy, which is still pretty good.
Yes. Johnny?
Well, I actually watched it on Vudu because they had it on there free with fucking ads, which I didn't personally give a shit, but never saw it. And the second time I watched it, it was actually on Amazon Prime. But this is my first time watching this movie. The first time, not gonna lie, rubbed a little rough. I was kind of like, wow, this is just a straight, pretty much like Crypt Creeper fucking Evil Dead ripoff. However, watching it again today, I actually thoroughly enjoyed it this time around.
Excellent.
Yeah, it's very, very heavily Evil Dead influenced. You can tell by even the POV shot of the demon coming up out of the basement.
Oh yeah, dude. Everything, man. Just the way they kind of act, the whole yeah.
And I mean by Evil Dead, I mean the original first classic, not the Evil Dead 2 or the actual fantastic remake, which I would love to cover at some point. That was really good. But yeah, like the way they were they died and then he came back as possessed. Very Evil Dead influenced.
Mike?
It was an absolute treat. The music was surprisingly good considering that it was one of those real examples of nepotism, right? Where the soundtrack is delivered by... Actually, the first song I really liked was Computer Date, but you know, that was a...
Which one was that one? Was that the very
House wasn't bad either.
Yeah, that was the first song they were listening to when they were rocking out and the stereo died.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, it was like, if you can't afford Thomas Dolby, just listen to Computer Date instead.
I'm going to have to find that song now.
You can find it on YouTube. It's there. I listened to it.
That's Mike's regular jam at this point. Yeah, I really enjoyed this. I'd watch it again. I want to see the remake because I just want to give it a try, and I really want to see old Monica Kenna do something other than FDJ or what's that, Man of the House? I think it's the other movie she is in, and I can just tell you right now she's not aged well.
The only other thing I ever saw her in before Freddy vs. Jason was Dawson's Creek.
Oh, okay. I think she was on a Lifetime movie or something like that too, like a biopic or something. I don't fucking know.
I think any woman that when her career is just completely in the gutter ends up in a Lifetime movie.
I think the only place you can see her now is hitting a meth pipe in a back alley.
And on the con circuit, she's got to get that money.
Yes. God, I'm so mean. But Chad, what's the behind the scenes, buddy?
Okay, well, the behind-the-scenes stuff is actually kind of light. You'd probably find more on the... I wish I had the Blu-ray to get more in-depth. I didn't find much, but here's what I found. I did find... okay, so Linnea Quigley and the special effects artist Steve Johnson, they met when she came in for her fake breast mold, and they later got married. So they met on the set of this, and they got married. I thought that was pretty cool.
I molded your titties. Let's get married.
That's right. Those are the best titties I've ever molded.
It was produced for $1.2 million, and it made outrageously large grosses during its limited release. If it had opened nationwide instead of limited release, it was projected to earn $13 million its opening weekend, and it would have ranked in the top horror films of the 1980s. It was shot in only 4 weeks.
Oh, wow.
Right?
Damn.
The girl that plays Angela, Amelia Kincaid, her aunt is Rue McClanahan from the Golden Girls.
Oh.
And she would come visit the set every so often.
Are you aware of those Golden Girls action figures?
Yes, and I have to have them.
I need to do photo shoots with those with my Jasons.
Only they're kicking
Oh my
Jason's
god,
ass.
that would be awesome.
They're kicking Jason's ass. Okay, and when
Do you have that Blanche Dubois action figure that calls everybody trash?
I feel like I need that in my life.
Yes.
So, and in the movie, okay, when we first see Angela, she's wearing cross earrings. Later, after she's possessed, the crosses are inverted.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, to prove to just
Nice.
a little, it's a little the inverted cross is just a sign of demonic possession. Linnea Quigley initially turned down the offer to audition because she felt she was too old to play a teen convincingly.
Okay.
Her agent insisted she do the audition, and finally, after going back and forth, she gave in and won the role. The reason they wanted her is because the filmmakers were huge fans of her role in Return of the Living Dead, which who
Excellent.
wasn't, right?
Right.
Okay.
I like how both films she's dancing. Like she's shaking her ass in one, and the other one she's dancing on top of fucking tombstones and shit.
And I'm
this one compared to the Tombstone was way milder.
And by the way,
in my opinion.
I have seen certain scenes from the remake. She is in it. And she's trying to do the same, seductive thing, bending over, and she's wearing like the same outfit, and everybody's like, "Ooh, no, you're old."
Oh. You get to see her tits in that one too?
I have no idea, but like I said before, they're fake, so they probably still look fantastic.
Yeah.
Mm.
Hal Hawkins, who played Stooge, refused to bare his ass for the mooning scene at the beginning. That's why it's just he's wearing underwear. He refused to bare his ass.
Oh.
That's why he's wearing that special set of underwear from the Silver Shamrock.
Yeah. What? Why would you refuse to bare your ass for a mooning scene? It's not like somebody's going to stick a dick in it.
Right?
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Did you hear that, Jared?
I have an idea, and I think he was afraid of doing it wrong and having his balls hang out over the door.
There you go.
It wasn't the ass he was afraid to show. He was afraid he was going to fuck it up and show more.
Okay.
You know what it probably was? He probably didn't want to shave his ass, or if he did, he didn't want to miss a spot and have it on camera.
Yeah,
so
he probably has really bad dingleberries.
He's a big boy.
I mean, it was the 80s. Come on.
Yeah.
It was originally titled Halloween Party.
Okay.
The original title was changed because Mustafa Akkad of the Halloween franchise forced him to change it. Another
Makes
proposed
sense.
title was Demon Boogie. Sorry.
Well, I'd like to thank them for
Boogie?
making this fucking title of the movie, because now it confuses me with about 8 other fucking movies. It's called Night of the...
And there is a movie from the 50s called Night of the Demon.
Yes, I do know that. Yes. And then there's Night of the Comet, Night of the Living Dead. What else? Night of the Creeps.
Night of the Creeps.
Jesus. Mike and I actually had an issue trying to set up this podcast because we weren't sure which fucking night of the movie we were actually going to review.
Yeah, because you accidentally
I have
bought
in
Night of the Demon.
text Night of the Creeps.
Yes.
So I watched Night of the Creeps, and I said I'm ready for Night of the Creeps, and you said we're not watching the Creeps.
That was all my fault, because in Chad's list he had Night of the Creeps.
I had Night of the Creeps.
And I thought he said Night of the Demons.
So he buys Night of the Demons. Now, and before that even, John had mistakenly watched Demon Knight.
Oh!
Right. Yeah, I bought that shit on Amazon, and fucking we watched that. I was all ready, and I was like anticipating, and we are like, nope. And I was like, oh, well. Go.
Well, I'm sorry.
In all fairness, and I can't announce it, we will be doing Demon Knight in the future.
Yes.
So you will be prepared for that at least.
Excellent.
Although you did remind me that Tom Atkins is a fantastic actor in two 80s movies, so you kind of pushed me into falling in love with that movie. So
Okay.
So good things.
Yes, good thing.
This has nothing to do with this, but a couple years ago, a friend of mine, I think I might have brought this up before. A friend of mine was at a Pittsburgh Pirates game and ran into Tom Atkins
Really?
Yeah, and got a picture taken with them.
That's
Nice.
awesome.
That was so cool. I think that might have been when no. That was even after they did My Bloody Valentine. I think he was just in town.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Okay, so now funny story about this next thing that I brought up to TJ this morning.
Oh, this is
in the
creepy as
text.
fuck, guys. Listen.
Okay,
To this.
so this was on IMDb last night in the trivia section. It says in the scene where all the characters are looking at the broken mirror on the ground, there's two characters who aren't in the reflection, and it said that they're the only two survivors. Now, wrong. That is incorrect because I wrote this down thinking, oh, it's cool. Yeah, I'll write that down because I haven't seen this movie in like 10 years. So this is my first time watching it in almost a decade. So I wrote that down, sat down and watched it. And at the end of the movie, it's Judy and Roger that survive.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm
Right.
like, wait a minute, Roger's reflection was in the mirror. I distinctly remember seeing it. So I went back, rewound the movie, and like, okay, Roger's in the mirror, so that is wrong. So I wrote down that it's wrong. I go back onto IMDb to double check to make sure that I didn't write something down wrong, and that whole fucking notation is gone from the trivia section. In the
No shit.
Yeah, in the 10 hours it took me between writing that down, watching it, and going back, somebody removed it completely. It does not exist anymore.
Fucking weird.
That is weird shit.
Now,
And that's why Wikipedia works, because you can always trust crowd curation.
See, that's funny because I thought, maybe I mistakenly got it from Wikipedia. So I went back to the Wikipedia page and it's not on there.
oh shit.
So I'm like, yeah, I definitely got it from IMDb. I even checked, because I checked probably 10 different sites last night trying to get all sorts of trivia about this. Because that's how balls to the wall I get from my behind the scenes shit. And none of it had it. So I'm like, yes, it was definitely IMDb. And yes, it is definitely gone.
okay.
It is so weird. Okay, so another thing, the arcade machine at the beginning of the movie in the convenience store,
Mm-hmm.
the noise it's playing is from the Atari 2600 Pac-Man game.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Nice.
There are actual 2 sequels to this. TJ didn't know there was 2 sequels.
I do know.
He didn't even know there was 1 sequel.
I did.
I've only seen the second one. I haven't seen the third one, so
Now-
I can't.
Is it the same actress who plays Angela in both?
In the second one, it is. I'm not sure if it is in the third one.
Angela, we're here for your party. I watched the trailer. Oh, and she just like comes flying out of that fucking furnace. I was just like, yeah.
In the years since it's released, the critics have gotten more favorable to it. It's got a cult classic following,
Yes.
and it got just completely hammered in the reviews or when it came out. It has I think a 30 or 40% rating on Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh my.
But we don't give 2 shits about Rotten Tomatoes because they don't like horror movies to begin
Nope.
with. And also, girl who plays Angela is a real choreographer. So she did all of her own dance scenes. She choreographed them herself.
Mike, are you muting and unmuting your mic? It sounds like somebody's sitting there going like unmute, unmute, mute, unmute.
Yeah,
Yeah, you're cutting out a lot too.
Well, I don't think we're cutting out. We're not hearing anything. Is Chad cutting out? What is that noise? Did you hear it?
I did. I heard that.
It might be mine. I did it once. Did it keep coming through?
Yes,
I'm sorry.
God damn it!
Yo, my kid is loud, dude. I'm trying to keep it so you guys don't hear that shit.
Okay.
dude.
Just-
Man, I'm sorry.
Just Casey Anthony, that kid, and just
Oh.
little chloroform.
Oh.
Mike might kill me on that one, but you know.
I tell Joe that all the time. He's like, the kids won't shut up. I was like, just Casey Anthony and put some chloroform on it. Shut right up.
Joe's got a way worse kid situation. than
Yes,
you
he
do.
does.
he does.
4 boys, twins. That poor guy.
Now-
We've talked about that before.
Yes. Chad,
Absolutely.
what other notes do you got?
That's about all I got. Yeah, as far as,
I got a couple. So, did anybody notice how big Jay's fucking flashlight was?
Yeah.
The fucking thing was a 2-hander.
Yes, I did. That was my first. That and the one that Fatty had. What's his name? Stooge in his car.
Yes, why?
That was like this high tech looking thing. Like, who has that in their car?
Also, whenever they're panning to what's the black guy's name?
Roger.
There's an Exodus, like the heavy metal band from the 80s, Exodus. There's a fucking sticker on the car.
Yeah, I saw that.
And one of my fucking favorite things is when Angela is like sitting there with her fucking, not Angela, Suzanne sitting there with her tits out. And then they're like, hey, what about an orgy?
She says it. She says it.
I
She's
bet
like,
you we could get Mike Hart again. I think that's. No, Roger. Is it Roger? I bet you we could get Roger Hart again. I was like, what the fuck?
No, but yeah, I think it was Mike.
What was Mike?
The way she said that, she did this kind of funny little head bob the way she said it. That's like a total Linnea Quigley. You see her do that in a lot of her movies. The way she shakes her head when she says something funny like that.
This is the only movie ever where a black guy lives.
Yeah, right.
And there's two instances of foreshadowing for the razor blade kill. The first time at the beginning of the movie, and then one of the actors say it when they're in the house. Talk about eating apples with razor blades in it.
I didn't pick up on that. I didn't. But yeah,
I didn't. I saw the razor blades in the beginning, but I didn't see the talk about it part.
Yeah. I just wanted to bring those up because I normally don't do notes, and I was like, "Fuck, this is cool stuff." But Johnny, what's your biggest fucking question about this?
Well, I gotta say, I'm glad I had a couple backups because you already brought up one, and that was, is this the only movie where a black guy fucking survives in a horror movie? Because holy shit.
But did you notice I don't want to sound.
No, go ahead.
I don't want to sound like I don't want it to come off racist, but he wasn't like the stereotypical black guy you see in horror movies. This guy was a total bitch.
That doesn't really matter though. Like,
but
you know what I mean?
It's like he survived because he was a little whiny little bitch.
It's true. He just fucking running and screaming.
Yeah, he ran. He prayed. Well, then again,
and the girl was like sitting there, like, "Oh, we gotta fight back. We gotta fight back." He's like, "Ah!"
Yeah, he's sitting there squealing like a little teenage girl.
Oh my god!
Now, my question is, was there an alternate ending where he was just like, he walked up and just heard her screaming at the end when she was getting all pulled down by him? He's just like, "Yo, fuck that shit. I don't even hear it." And
right?
Just walk the fuck away. Because that's what I would have done.
How did
like,
he get back behind that wall? Explain that. How the fuck did he get back up on the wall?
Good question.
Because they had so much trouble getting over it. And then how the fuck did he jump right back up again and do that fucking reaching thing?
I was literally wondering that same thing too, John. I was literally wondering. He's superhuman.
It's those jumping skills.
Yeah, white guy couldn't do it.
Because white men can't jump.
It's not racist. Not racist.
Just remember, his daddy taught him how to pray real good. So no bullshit prayers.
Well, okay,
These are like God picks it up on the first ring prayers.
I feel he should have been the only one to survive because technically he was the only one to not really fuck around with that mirror. Even the chick that did survive, she did. Mm-hmm. I felt like anybody that fucked with that mirror should have probably gotten taken out.
Yeah.
But I don't know. That was just my kind of like little take on it.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I'm going to have to watch the remake now. Just to see how different it's going to be.
I think we're all going to agree on the douche of the movie. For me, that was Stooge.
Yeah.
Yep.
See, going into it, watching it at the beginning, I'm like...
However, also favorite character of the movie, too.
Okay.
I was originally going in thinking that the douche of the movie was going to be Sal.
I love Sal.
At the beginning, he was kind of a douche.
Yeah.
And, halfway through, but he was a hero.
Yep. He literally was like...
He sacrificed himself to save Judy, yeah. Yep.
Couldn't you go with Jay as well? I mean, Jay was kind of a douche in his own right as well. Like...
Was Jay the one that was with...
I think he was dating the Asian girl.
No. Jay was the one that was there.
Oh, okay.
Jay was the one with the main chick there.
Yeah, and he left her because she wouldn't put it
right.
Yeah.
Oh, it's not Mike.
Right. And he also wanted to kick the shit out of Sal for literally doing the same joke Sal wanted to do. Like they called her, like she even called him out on.
Yeah.
But really,
so,
hey dudes and dudettes, it's time to party. Like,
oh yeah, dude. Like every other line, he was just like, "Listen here, bitch." Like, what the fuck? Like,
Stooge, you loved him and you hated him at the same time.
Oh, and some of his lines didn't make sense. They talk about his mom, and then he calls her his old lady. Did you not notice that? Yeah.
Some people have called
I did hear that.
It's the old man, the old lady. Yeah, so it kind of has a double meaning with that. But yeah.
What do you think, Mike?
This guy, he was like a shitty white trash John Candy with a mullet, he's so fucking vulgar in everything.
See, I got kind of more of a John Belushi thing from him.
This guy was just like if Barb's makeup was really fucked up in Spaceballs. like the makeup guy gave up halfway, this is what the result would be.
Yeah, what the
Bro,
fuck?
that was one fucking sweet mullet, man.
What,
You know
what was
that
with the
shit.
weird shavings in the side of his head? It didn't even
Who knows?
match.
It's the fucking 80s. Oh.
He was just so awful where he's just like, sit down, bitch. Get off that. Make yourself useful.
Now, I have a
Take the
question.
wheel. Shut up and drive, bitch. Turn here. Shut up and start walking.
Hey, I said I had a spare tire. I didn't promise a tire iron.
Hey, you guys need a hand? I love that. Everyone is so clapping.
Oh, yeah.
Also, did she bite off his lips or his tongue?
His tongue.
Okay.
Tongue.
Tongue.
Yep.
Which was like fitting because the loudmouth got silenced. So
Yes.
that was a big plus for me.
Chad's questions.
Okay. Hold on, I gotta get to my page with the question.
And apparently Warlock wasn't the first movie to have someone have their tongue bit off.
Oh.
Oh my god, I forgot about that. Okay, so our first question is, what's everyone's favorite kill?
I'll go last. Chad?
I'm gonna let Johnny go because I
Okay.
still gotta think about that too. Favorite kill.
Well, it's kind of a little tie. So it's if I have to choose a kill that actually like happened by the demons, I would almost have to say, as lame as it was, the coffin lid kill, just because it was kind of like the most brutal, just because he was just like, well, your fucking arm, chop off. However, my favorite. Oh, go ahead, sir.
Oh, that had a great line in it when Max says, when Stooge like snaps the Fran's neck, and then he goes to close the lid on Mark, and he goes, "No, Stooge, no, not now." Like, when is it a good time to murder someone's hookup and slam them in a coffin?
Because you gotta let him finish, bro. I mean, like, he might have been like 3 strokes away. Dude.
She's still warm.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
However,
So warm.
I still think, going back to actually the favorite kill, my favorite kill probably would actually be the old random dude at the fucking end with his old lady
Yes,
killing
I
him with
love
the
that.
razors,
Yeah.
dude.
That's
was
mine.
fucking-
That's not
Like-
only. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, like, dude, like that. Just those 2 scenes, the beginning and end scenes, dude, made me
Oh,
more
man,
like
it was a fucking
gave me more
time.
questions than the fucking like whole movie in itself. I'm like, wait, what the fuck's going on here, dude? Like, I want to know that story.
See,
Like,
not,
what the fuck?
not only is that my favorite kill now, that is my favorite scene of the movie too. So that's a double pick for me. Just because. Yeah, the old guy was such an asshole. And at the end, you kind of get the idea that his wife knew the razor blades were in there, knew he was an asshole, and just wanted rid of the fucker.
Yeah.
Because he's
How do
laying
you
dead
put
in
a
a pool of his
fork-
own blood. She pats his head and says, "Happy Halloween, dear."
How
Exactly,
do you
dude,
put a fork
and she
in a
smirked.
pie without hitting a razor blade?
I don't know.
She cut up the razor blades. I don't fucking know. Somehow they solidified back in his throat. He fucking came out.
Liquid razor.
I love the fact that like they managed to bypass his tongue and only take effect in his throat. I was expecting to have a xenomorph jump out and do the Michigan rag. Like his throat bloomed like a fucking flower.
It did. You see like blood traveling up the veins.
Yeah, that was fucking gnarly, dude. Like, I don't care if it didn't make sense. Like, it still looked awesome.
It was so out of nowhere and sudden. And like they just decided, hey, now that Slot's gone, here's the second biggest asshole. And he gets killed too.
Yeah, maybe the old
Right?
guy should be the douche of the movie because he was an asshole from the very
He
first scene he
was.
was in.
What does he call them whenever they're walking by? He's like,
You
guys,
don't
we're
need
up all
help,
night.
you little whore.
Yeah, dude. Like, what? Like, you feel bad for him because of the 2, fucking Stooge and Sal there. But then when I was like, oh, wow, what a dick. Fuck that guy.
What does he call this? What does he call the kids? Like fucktards or something?
Oh yeah, something like that. Yeah, yeah. He was.
I'd say my favorite kill is the coffin kill as well. Did Mike answer yet?
no.
It was going to be the coffin kill, but then the old man out of nowhere was just that took the pie.
Yeah, I love the effects of the razor blades coming through his neck and his blood spraying out.
But I do also.
Although,
wanna add
like,
in-
Jill Tereshie deserves credit. Like the only pair of Asian boobs you see in '80s movies, apparently, because the only time I've seen them was her in this movie and in Sleepaway Camp 3.
Is it the same actress?
We'll get back to that later because that's one of our questions. So we'll move on to the best scene while I research that.
Well, I just said my best scene was the razor blade kill at the end.
I really like when she's running through the house and she gets to the front door and her boyfriend comes out and then Angela's like, what was it? Something about a blind date.
Yeah.
I just like that whole sequence.
He says, like, Mary, why have you forsaken me? Why the fuck to pull a Bible quote?
Yeah, he says, why hast thou forsaken me?
That's awesome.
Gentlemen, what about your favorite scenes?
John?
Favorite scene. Honestly, man, like as stupid as it is, that dance scene was pretty fucking ridiculous.
Agreed.
I enjoyed it because more from Sal's take, because I would have probably got the fuck out of there a lot sooner than he did. I'm like, all right, this bitch is fucking nuts. But I don't know, it was kind of like I said, it was weird, but it was
benefit.
Yeah, dude. Because he kept saying
best.
Well, and she's crazy, so she's nuts in the fucking streets. She's nuts in the bed too. But he was looking at her ass and shit. But at the same time, like I thought it was a cool, almost like morphosis scene. Like like she's transforming into the demon and shit like that. Just because like everything's starting to turn on, shit's starting to go a little fucking weird. Like I don't know, it was just a cool like. This is when shit's about to really start to go down.
I also would like to add that is one fantastic ass, by the way.
Yeah, that's pretty nice. It was definitely nicer than the first one there in the pink.
Yeah, better than Leanna. I mean, like that was just like some flat pixie stuff going on.
Yeah.
Mike, best scene?
I have to say something that really stuck with me is when Mary is surprised to find out that the room with an incinerator isn't a boiler room, but in fact crematorium.
Thank you.
Yes,
like they're in a fucking morgue the whole time, or
She has to dig through ashes and find a skull before she's realized, like, oh, this is the crematory.
Yeah, she opens the door. She's like, what's with all these pipes?
Also, how the fuck did that not kill everyone in that room?
Like in a huge gas explosion? Thank you. Yes.
What the fuck? It doesn't work that way. It's not water. Jesus.
I'd also like to note for that scene, and I know she's not necessarily a final girl, like in the sense, but she is in the horror movie sense. But she has to be the most retarded fucking final girl in any horror movie ever.
Yeah.
Oh, she's awful.
Dude, just the questions. Raj, is that true? Really, Raj? Okay.
Oh, yes.
And it's like, oh my fucking God, somebody just die, please. Like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, she was a horrible actress. And by the way, I just want to add this on, and this annoyed the fuck out of me too. On the cover of the Scream Factory Blu-ray, it shows Stooge as like this pig demon that doesn't even appear in the movie.
You're right.
And that annoyed the hell
out of me. But
it
does look awesome on that.
It does. It does look awesome, but it's not even in the movie.
What if it's a deleted scene?
I'll have to look.
Ooh.
Could be.
Night of the Piggy.
Did the opening scene hook you in?
The opening was fan-fucking-tastic.
Agreed.
It was like some Tim Burton-like shit with macabre settings and picket fences, like bony demons flying into a haunted house with a Michael Myers-like soundtrack, but also with like a progressive rock beat culminating the animated fireplace morphing into a pumpkin. It was a fucking fantastic beginning. One of the best ones I've seen.
Agreed.
It's actually very famous for that animated beginning, too.
I love it. And it literally goes right into the movie with that pumpkin.
Yeah, that was really cool. Okay, so yeah, we agree on that. Okay, here. Best tits / hottest girl.
I'm going to have to say, I know Chad's going to say.
Yeah, you know what I'm going to say.
He's probably going to say the one I'm going to say too, so.
Judy, for me.
I think that's what I said this morning. I texted you about that because she seems to have the most perfect pair, but you never see them. The only thing you see is in the Lacey bra at the beginning that her brother really, really creepily comments on, which was very
What the fuck was that, dude? Like, even he was about her titties. He was like, bodacious boobs? Yeah, bodacious boobs.
Yeah, that's exactly what I said, bodacious boobs.
Bodacious boobs says, I always wondered, like, would this line have been as effective or as creepy if the genders were reversed and it was a sister who busts out like awesome anaconda, bro? You keep growing it like that, and you'll need to hire a midget to carry it.
I don't know. I think it doesn't work for either, honestly, dude. Like, I think it's just fucking weird. Like, what? You guys are brothers and sisters, man. This isn't in Alabama.
Yeah,
well, maybe it is. I don't fucking know.
Yeah, that was so gross. I mean, aside from that, the little brother was actually pretty cool. But,
yes.
God, that just...
But since we're talking about hottest girl, we did get Bush.
Yes, we did.
We did. It's been a while since the burning. Did we get any Bush? It was very brief, but it was Linnea Quigley Bush. But what's his notch?
Oh, shit, we're still on the best hits.
And unlike the boobs, that muff wasn't a prosthetic.
No, that was not a prosthetic bust.
That reminds me, I'm disappointed that nobody picked the lipstick and the boob for their favorite scene.
Well,
it's not
that
good.
was a
disturbing and awful.
fucking weird scene, dude. Like, did it just eat her lipstick or
awful?
They did.
Yeah, it did.
And they serve no purpose. Like, if you're establishing that her tits can absorb things, then when she's fucking Mark, he should be sucking on her boobs, and then the nipple bites his tongue and pulls his face in.
Wow, that was way fucking sweeter to see, dude.
Oh, also, they never established whether he stayed hard after she turned into a demon or not.
Didn't you hear a crunch when she turned? I'm pretty sure he got teethed.
Ooh, really?
Oh, God.
Dude, you're going to make me watch it a third time, man.
Don't watch that movie, John. Don't. Teeth, don't watch it.
Teeth? No.
Yeah,
God, no, dude.
that.
I watched it once and I'm good, bro.
John, best tits, hottest girl.
Asian chick, dude.
Yes, Asian girl.
Jill Terashita, best Asian tits of the 80s. Possibly tits at all, period.
So I'm like Judy.
Spectacular.
Does everyone have yellow fever? Jesus.
Oh, come on. Those were.
No, it's just she had the best tits, dude, and she actually showed them.
I have big
I don't
tits
count
fever.
ones that don't show. Or don't show, I mean.
Did the score set the mood?
Absolutely, it did.
Yeah, I love
This music was perfect.
It really was. I like how it was quiet whenever it needed to be, and there was music whenever it needed to be. I think it was very well done.
The only part I didn't like was the when Stooge came out of the bathroom when he was like hesitating at the door there, and they did the big fucking just organ like me, like I don't know, that just sounded like weird and out of place. But as for the rest of it, yes.
What was Stooge's expectations? He says like she walks into the bathroom, closes the door, and he's like, I thought we were going to go together. Is he into water sports?
He wanted a Blumpkin, dude.
Deal?
Like, bro, you know, like he's all about that.
They were
shit.
going to double drop.
Double drop.
Yeah. He's going to sit right on her fucking. Yep.
Yeah, she sits on his lap and he just spreads his legs and they both like go together.
Double dropping.
Shoot the hoop,
More
dude.
efficient.
They try to get like a little Bellagio action going on.
Oh, my
Right?
God.
Nothing wrong with a fucking Blumpkin, dude. Just got to watch the Splash Damage.
Best song. Ending. The credit song. I dig it.
That was good, but I like the song that Angela was dancing to, the Stigmata song that
Fuck y'all.
got stuck in your head. It had like the weird
Stigmata.
Latin and shit.
There's a video of it on the internet with like this weird 90s CG, like PlayStation 1 CGI of these two kids playing like a Mortal Kombat game. And they're both like ugly, degenerate, like gummo redneck kids.
Awesome. John, are you going to say Stigmata Martyr also?
No, I am not going to say Stigmata, dude. That song was like, I didn't realize it said that 1,000 times the first time I watched it. I think I was just more like, what the hell's going on? But the second time I heard it, I was like, wow, that's fucking annoying as shit. I'm going to probably have to go with TJ and the end song, dude. Like, I like that. That was a good outro.
Chad, what's
Stigmata
next?
Martyr is only a close second from me. First one is Computer Date. Simply because it's just like Thomas Dolby Light stuff.
Okay, favorite character?
Stooge.
I really like Stooge, other than him being an asshat.
I mean,
Angela's
like
cool
that's
too.
why I like him, because he is such a douchey character, but he plays it so well. Like,
I gotta go with Sal.
Okay, yeah, Sal was pretty cool too.
I like Sal. because all this shit's going on, and he's like, you know what? I'm getting the fuck out
Thank
of here.
heavens for water pipes.
Yeah, those are some very
what was the
strong
kid-
water pipes.
Yeah.
for
What
was the
being
kid as the
100-year-old building.
Of course there was no boards on the window. There's no way out.
I still got a kick out of Sal, and the creepy incest brother at the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
The kid was funny when he was talking to Sal at the beginning.
Dranscock?
Who was the dude with the doctor on, the one that was fucking the Asian chick?
Mark.
Yeah, like he wasn't a bad character. Like I kind of liked him. Like he was a little douchey, but at the same time, like he seemed like he was like there for his friend. I don't know.
Apparently,
Like, he was
he's got
just
a
a normal-
past history. He's got a history of having his friend kill his dates. Because apparently, like Stooge, like took a bad time to kill his date.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
That guy's got a story that we could have listened to.
Okay. Mike, favorite character?
I'd have to go with the brother. Just like he's a little incesty, but then again, like when you're just hitting puberty, like every hammer, like when you're a hammer, everything's a nail.
Okay. Bodacious boobs.
And the way he just like burns his mom's like, no one wants your fucking cookies, mom. They look like poodle turds.
Yeah.
Sun-
Well, they fucking
sun-
did, dude.
And then when Sal shows up, he's like, what's up, butthole? Like he's just spitting hot fire on everybody.
Well, to
This
be
kid
fair,
is
didn't
fucking
Sal
dumb.
scare him and like steal his mask? So I mean, like,
He did.
Yeah, well, he is the 12-year-old kid. I mean, he's got the attitude of an ass kicking guy,
Right.
but he doesn't have the muscle to back it up.
It's
He's
like
a little
stealing
young
latex
dog.
he does.
masks
He
from
called his
babies.
mom, dude. Don't make me call my mom.
Don't make me call
Shit was fucking hilarious.
Was it scary?
Yeah, I think it was.
I think it could be scary.
yeah, if it's your first time watching it, I think so.
Yeah. Those fucking demon designs is awesome. That shit's...
Even though the voices they used for the demons were really terrible.
All one guy did that.
Yeah, that was.
I watched the credits pretty thoroughly, and I noticed that one guy did it.
We should interview him if we can.
Just have him use that voice the entire time?
We should get him to do the intro.
Yes. Dranscock, was it scary?
No, not in my personal opinion. And you know what? On Vudu, it's actually labeled as a fucking horror comedy,
Yeah.
which I don't know if that's supposed to be labeled like that or not. So that's how I kind of took it the first time around.
I'm thinking it's like that on Amazon Prime as well.
Okay.
But yeah, that was a
Captain
big no
Canada,
from
what
me,
about you?
unfortunately.
Captain Canada, are you there?
Yeah. It was kind of scary in moments, but overall I found it like more funny. But it did have some good shocks, like when that fucking Mortal Kombat dragon shows up in the mirror.
Yeah. That's so
Like, how do
true.
you have like a bone? Like someone just said, what should be in the mirror? A skeleton, a ghost, or a dragon? And some guy said, why not all three?
Fuck yeah.
They look like they ran out of budget halfway through designing it, though, because that was a terrible, terrible puppet.
Mhm.
And that dragon
Yes.
showed up at the end. I really thought he was going to pit Mary and Roger against each other and say, like, test your might.
Finish her.
You know, that might have looked bad, but I think the set design was pretty fucking good.
Yeah, that was an actual house too. That
And the
was-
lighting kind of felt Nightmare on Elm Street-ish at times. Like when she's in the, like the embalming room. You know what I'm talking about.
How great is it when what's his face goes in and he sees Linnea Quigley sitting there topless, and the first thing he notices is not the fact that the lights are on, is the fact that she's naked.
Yeah.
He's like, "Oh, hey!" Then he's like, 30 seconds later,
Sal's
"Oh, what
reaction
the
to
fuck?
her.
The lights are on."
Sal's reaction to her is the best, though. The fuck are wrong with you people? It's like...
Oh shit! So
Does it hold up today? Absolutely.
to an extent, yeah.
Well, we see it as a comedy at this
I mean,
point.
it does and it doesn't. I mean, you can tell it's a very 80s movie, and the incest brother is really out of place in today's society. Well, maybe not. I don't know. I don't know what the fuck brothers and sisters are like now. Maybe they are incestual.
It's probably
Hey,
gonna.
Game of
I'm not
Thrones
even
took
gonna
off,
say it. I'm
okay?
not even
Like, these
gonna
guys
say
were
it.
trailblazers.
That's right. You see, I guess, yeah, to an extent it does hold up today. It's still a decent movie.
Dranscock?
Yeah, it's not bad. I mean, it's if you're looking for like that specific like 80s cheeso, then yeah, dude, it's perfect.
Absolutely.
But if you're looking, I mean, like, dude, would this scare the shit out of like a younger kid? Yeah, maybe. You know, but an adult going in by themselves, probably not so much.
Captain Canada.
It's fantastic. I only saw it recently, and I never felt like super outdated, except for the fantastic music. But to me, that's classic, not aged. It is a great movie. I'll definitely be watching it again, and it would be a great litmus test if you're recently seeing somebody and you're like, but how? Like they say they like horror movies, but are they cool? You put this movie on and you find out.
Yeah. This would be the ultimate test right there.
Chad, what's next?
Was the acting good or bad?
I think it's pretty good.
I disagree.
Okay, explain.
I thought the acting was terrible. And it was... I think for the fact that it's a pretty low-budget B movie, it's decent. But especially with Judy, she was terrible. Maybe she was supposed to be intentionally bad, but yeah, she was horrible. And I wasn't a big fan of Roger.
Yeah,
he was pretty
did
bad.
seem over the top, but I felt like that was a purposely done, kind of like SNDN too. I feel like it maybe was on purpose.
Yeah, I think you might be onto something there. But as far
the problem with Roger was the character, not the acting.
Yeah, he did an all right job. I didn't buy Judy's performance.
Yeah,
at all.
Dranscock brought up earlier about how like Judy's lines and shit when she's in the crematorium. That's not her fault. Because she just kept repeating herself over and over again. Those were her fucking lines. I don't think that was improv.
She could have been doing a much better job at that.
Yeah, that's very true.
This is where all the people died, right? This is like all our friends are being possessed by demons, right? They
my
only
God.
last until midnight, right?
Yeah.
Fuck.
So, Mike, good or bad acting?
I'm sorry, what was that?
Good or bad acting?
I'd have to say good acting on Stooge's behalf because they probably said just act like a total fucking asshole and he nailed it.
Yep.
And Sal also like the tough guy who made good, kind of like an attempt at Dylan from the Blob.
Okay.
But you know, where that guy actually succeeded, this guy fell short, pun intended. But it was a mixed bag. Some people acted great, like the dancer and Linnea Quigley. They played their parts as like weird, sexy girls. Great. Mary, on the other hand, fucking awful. But again, it's really hard to tell if they gave her a bad character or if they were just like, oh, this is the best we're gonna get. Just wait.
Yeah, I gotta agree with that, man. It's like 50-50. Like some of them I feel like were really into their roles and really got it. And other ones just didn't hit the mark. Maybe it was written bad, but I don't know.
The brother and the old man were acted fantastic. Like they just said, like, this is what we want to get from you, and they delivered.
Exactly.
Right.
So, did you like the cinematography?
No. And I will give you 2 shots what I did like, but the other ones felt cheap. 3 shots that I did like. The first one is Angela coming down the hallway. The second one is the transition from the hallway to the second room. You can tell it was done with a set because it passes through a wall. And my third shot that I actually do like is whenever all the demons are reaching up to grab Judy. I like that shot as well. But anything else, I feel like it could have been better.
Even the POV shot, there was like one long nonstop shot coming up out of the basement.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean the Evil Dead homage?
Yeah.
Straight up Evil Dead steel.
You call it an homage. I call it a fucking rip and a half. It's almost like using the title gory bits in your podcast.
Ooh.
Oh, shots fired.
Cease and desist.
So,
finally, do you like the premise?
wait, no, they didn't. They didn't
sorry.
answer.
I didn't mean to cut you guys off.
Dranscock and Mike. Cinematography.
Mike, you can go ahead, man.
I kind of like the homage to the Evil Dead. Like, there's a lot of people that attempt it, and I thought this kind of, this was in like it was closer to nailing it rather than failing it.
Okay.
But apparently that's a contested opinion, so I won't stress that. But also the dance strobing scene was great. I have, I don't really have complaints as far as the cinematography goes.
Okay.
Honestly, my favorite shot in that whole fucking movie was the broken mirror. I thought that just looked awesome. I'm glad that you brought it up earlier, Chad. But were they all in the mirror or was somebody missing though? I thought somebody was missing from it.
And the other girl, they were both missing from the shot because she was
the girl that got thrown on the car.
Yeah, the girl that actually saw her own death.
Okay.
Yeah, she was back huddled in the corner, and Judy was consoling her. So they were the only ones that their images weren't reflected in the mirror.
Oh, okay.
Gotcha.
Which is kind of what threw me because like I said, I saw that and I'm like, oh, okay, maybe these two live because, like I said, it's been a long ass time since I'd seen it. And then, oh no, Roger lived and he was in the mirror. And then I went back and
an interesting scene with no significance whatsoever.
Yeah, exactly.
I know, and I feel like that is an awesome thing that they could have had it, and they just still looked good though.
Yeah,
agreed.
All right, so finally, did you like the premise?
Absolutely. Very, very cool.
Yeah.
Transcog.
Yeah, it was an awesome idea, man. I mean, who doesn't? Well, it's Halloween night, it's a bunch of kids going to a party, shit goes fucking wrong.
Right.
That's an awesome concept.
That is a
whether
classic.
it was deployed 100%, that's questionable. But dude, the idea is fucking awesome.
Yeah, that is a classic 80s horror trope, something, Halloween, kids want to do a seance and some bad shit happens.
Mike?
Classic.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a that can easily be played out and failed at terribly. But they took something that we all know and did something pretty unique and memorable with it. So, thumbs up.
Okay. Rating. I'm going to give it a 3 out of 5. Chad?
Yeah, I think that's a pretty fair rating. I'll give it a 3 out of 5 as well.
Okay. Transcock.
I'm gonna go 2.5. I'm gonna go a little low ball on it.
And Mike.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna play the antithesis and give it a 3.5.
Oh, so that's gonna even out to roughly about a 3.0.
3. Yep. And Gore N More rating of Night of the Demons, 3 out of 5.
Not bad.
But yeah. Remember to catch us at Steel City Comic-Con August 9th through 11 at the Do Back Discussion Network booth. And Chad, would you like to show the network?
Be my guest, my man.
Okay. Just as a friendly reminder that the Gore N More podcast is part of the Do Back Discussion Podcast Network, featuring great podcasts as the Do Back Discussions podcast, your source for Star Wars news, theories, and reviews, the Hall of Heroes podcast, or as Chad calls it,
Hall of Zeros.
Your source for comic book news, theories, and reviews.
I kid. It's a good podcast. I just got to give these guys a rough time.
And I will announce my podcast with Corey Kaufman called the Jerk the Curtain podcast, which will be your source for all 80s and 90s wrestling. It's going to be awesome. Yes. Why does everyone say that when I do that?
I'm only doing it because it was in the last one, so I think
And then we have a secret project that I'm working on, which is massive.
I know about it.
And let's just say it's going to be awesome.
If you love the interview podcast that TJ's done on our off weeks for the Gore N More show, this is going to be right up you guys' alley. You're going to love it.
But also, remember, you can find us at dobackdiscussion.net. Make it your fucking homepage now. And find us on TeePublic at Do Back Discussion. You can find your awesome Gore N More shirt there. And if you go to our booth at Steel City Com, we should have a couple shirts and a couple hats and maybe some pins for you guys. It's going to be cool. Don't remember if you buy something, that money's going to go to charity.
Mm-hmm.
Can't go wrong helping kids. But thanks, Mike, for coming on, man. I really appreciate it.
Thanks. It was my pleasure. This was real fun.
Dranscock, thank you for taking time out of your day.
Hey, man. Thank you for having me as always, bro.
And sadly, I am going to end the podcast with Stigmata Murder. As much as I don't want to.
Man,
Yes, you do.
You should have got that the one that Mike liked instead.
What's it called?
The computer one?
Yeah, what's
Computer
it?
date.
Computer
Computer
date.
date, there you go.
I'll see if it exists. Hold on my Spotify.
It's on YouTube, dude. I listened to it the other day.
Suburban Lawns.
Play it.
What?
That's not right.
What the fuck is that?
No.
That is not right.
What the hell are
Is
you
that
listening
like Fisher Price's My First Casio?
That sounds like the cat playing the keyboard.
Okay. But thanks everyone for joining us on the Gore N More podcast. That's TJ Bowser signing off.
Chad Crispin saying goodbye.
Johnny
This is Mike
D,
from the-
peace out.
Mike from the leg is a bitch. And Mike from the Graveyard Shift. Horror with Sheldon and Mike.
Happy
Signing off.
Halloween, dear.
Before we go out, I just wanted to say this is another coincidence, just like our last episode with The Crow being on the 25th anniversary of the release of The Crow. This actually happens to be Linnea Quigley's birthday. So happy birthday.
Happy birthday,
Ah.
Linnea Quigley.
Keep flashing them fake titties.
Oh, yeah.
In a crucifixion ecstasy, lying cross-checked in agony. Stigmata bleed continuously, both in hands and feet, and weep for me. Stigmata, oh you sorry sight, stigmata in your splintered light. Look to your crimson orifice in holy remembrance in scarlet bliss. Un nomine Patris, Filii, Spiritus Sanctus. Un nomine Patris, Filii,